And we are back for the last lap of the show. It's traditional of us on capital markets to go through the OTCs. And of course, we'll kick off again with NASD, where we saw it's been flat on Friday as the volume of traded securities fell 99.33%. The market value also dipped 69.62%, while deals executed increased by 80%. IGI, CSCS, and Al Jaiz Bank were the top traded securities for the session. And over to the FMDQ OTC, trading on bonds were largely minimal this week. On Monday, average yield across benchmark bonds declined 0.2% to 15.2% from 15.4% that we had last week. This was the same calmness that we saw that lingered on throughout this week on the FMDQ OTC platform, and that also impacted the T-bills markets, where we see activities in the treasury bills, mainly dictated by the financial system liquidity levels, which slowed as a result of the CBN's activity in the primary market. The Apex Bank sold 245.2 billion in treasury bills at Wednesday's primary market auction, and these impacted the secondary markets at the FMDQ OTC, where we see the 18th August 2016 security attracting 231 deals, and 27 July 2017 as well as 8 December 2016 attracting more deals from investors. Now, Mr. Fakayejo is still here with us on the program, and we'll continue the discussion with him. Earlier, you were projecting what some of these companies will need. But now the key question is, how possible can they raise these huge sum of money from an economy or a market that is already, at a lull, and of course the economy is in recession?
Well, it's going to be extremely difficult at this point in time. But all the while, they will still have to make attempt at doing something. We've had Forte Oil saying that what they're going to do is debt. Yeah. And not equity. Not equity. And they're putting for the timing for the equity to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 2017, which makes quite a lot of sense. And I think it's much easier to market debt stock right now than equity. So I think most of the companies will definitely think in that light. And if they can do a convertible debt stock, also which may be the conversion period maybe in about 3-4 years, then definitely I think it will be good for them when the economy will have been stabilized, so to say.
So we have UAC trying to float a kind of commercial paper. We have Sterling Bank going for the capital raising as well. FCMB is likely to do some kind of debt. Forte Oil you talked about earlier. It means we're going to be having more corporate bonds in the markets. Does that send a kind of positive signal to the Nigerian capital market?
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I think with the performance of the market so far, it should be suicidal for these companies to come and do equity. We've heard from Flour Mills Nigeria PLC. They will be coming to do equity that rights issues to be specific. Right. And I think they've been battling with this for a very long time, and I think they want to give it a try this time around. But I think that may not really be difficult if they have foreign or some specific investors which may have already shown interest, and I think that way it may be successful. But for what we've seen in the past, when Transcorp Hotels came, I think it wasn't really an easy one for them. When even the time that Access Bank and UBA did theirs at that time, even with a little amount of money that was being raised, I think it was a very difficult task. The economy was still better as at that time, not to compare to now. So this time around is going to be a very tough one, and making it mandatory by the CBN that they need to raise capital, I think goes a long way, that there's no other way.
So in 15 seconds, do you think they will have to look for some kind of foreign-denominated, dollar-denominated bonds again?
Well, to me, I don't think that will really help us in this situation.
The attention will now be on domestic.
Exactly, which will be the one that will be able to sustain the economy.
Viewers, just before we go, let's take a look at some of the activities that we should watch out for next week. First, we will be seeing the Capital Markets Committee meeting holding on Tuesday, 9th August, which is next week, and it is expected that the whole Capital Markets Committee members will converge again in Lagos to give us a briefing. But we have got some corporate benefits trackers. Total Nigeria is issuing, has proposed 3 naira. GSK, that's GlaxoSmithKline, has proposed 60 kobo. Famadeco, 15 kobo. Custodian, 7 kobo. The dates you can see on the screen. And we should watch out as well for some annual meetings next week. MRS Oil, NPF Microfinance Bank, and Transnation Wide Express. On that note, we bring the show to an end. I'll say see you next time. I'm Temple Ashaju, and of course, have a lovely weekend.